can you still feel the comforting hug of a baggy sweater or the confidence that came with wearing denim 2 sizes too big? The 90s gave us more than just bold music and booming technology. It wrapped us in layers of loose-fitting denim, roomy flannels, and the unmistakable swish of gigantic windbreakers. Walking through a high school hallway back then was a sea of flared jeans and shirts wide enough to share, a time when comfort met. Self-expression in every oversized sleeve. The sound of jangling keychains, the weight of an old Walkman in an enormous pocket. These little details take us right back to an era when style was about making a carefree statement. No one cared if your jeans dragged on the floor or your hoodie swallowed your hands. It was about attitude, about blending in and standing out all at once. So what made us trade in our tight fits for clothing that seemed to have a life of its own? As we revisit these memorable fashions, let's uncover the stories and feelings stitched into every extra inch of fabric and remember what oversized really meant to a generation that loved to stand tall by dressing large. To understand the oversized revolution of the 90s, we first have to look back, beyond those giant jeans and generous jackets, to a time when American fashion was still following a different set of rules. The 1980s had left their mark with power suits, shoulder pads, and sharp, structured lines. Everything was precise and polished, from crisp collars to hemmed pant legs. But as the new decade dawned, so too did a desire for something freer, less restrained. The world was shifting, the Cold War ended, new technology was breaking into our homes, and attitudes toward self-expression were undergoing a major transformation. Oversized clothing didn't appear out of nowhere. Its roots can be traced to streetwear and hip-hop cultures that began blossoming in the late 80s. Young people, especially in urban centers, started rejecting formality in favor of casual, comfortable gear. You might remember watching MTV and seeing rappers rocking loose-fitting jeans, baggy tees, and extra-long flannel shirts. This style, influenced heavily by the West Coast's skate scene and the East Coast's burgeoning rap scene, started as grassroots rebellion, an act of pushing back against both fashion tradition and societal boundaries. But it wasn't just music fueling the shift. The rise of grunge, centered in Seattle and championed by bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam, threw another log onto the fire. Grunge kids haunted thrift stores, hunting for oversized sweaters and flannel two-layer without care for color or fit. The look wasn't polished, it was real, a reflection of authenticity over artifice. It didn't matter if you were a size small and your shirt was extra large. In fact, that mismatch was part of the charm. Surprisingly, economic factors played a big role too. The early 90s recession meant that budgets were tight in many American households. Hand-me-downs became more than a rite of passage, they were a necessity. Baggy clothes, often bought to grow into, became common, blurring the lines between children's and teenagers' wardrobes. Did you ever inherit an older sibling's sweater and find that it suited you just fine, maybe even better, once you rolled up the sleeves or cinched it with a belt? Another little-known catalyst was the impact of globalization on the clothing industry. As manufacturing shifted overseas, ready-to-wear garments, often produced in generous sizes to fit a wide range of customers, became the norm. Retailers preferred stocking fewer sizes in bigger cuts, which reduced inventory costs. Suddenly, oversized wasn't just a trend, it was practical business. A fascinating fact is how oversizing bridged gaps between subcultures. For hip-hop's pioneers, it was about projecting a larger-than-life persona. Think of the way MC Hammer's parachute pants filled the TV screen, or how TLC's music videos highlighted colorful, billowing outfits that danced with every movement. For skaters, loose clothes offered physical freedom and a badge of cool irreverence, a direct answer to establishment fashion. Meanwhile, suburban kids embraced oversized as a way to experiment with identity, melding grunge with hip-hop, weaving their own stories into the style tapestry. As the decade progressed, oversized clothing tiptoed from city streets into suburban malls and department stores. By the mid-90s, it was everywhere. Gap, Old Navy, and even mid-tier labels like Esprit were selling oversized sweaters and wide-legged jeans. TV sitcoms like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Friends turned living rooms into style runways, their stars donning shirts and pants, often a size or two up. Do you recall catching yourself trying on your favorite star's signature look, maybe pinning a photo from a magazine to your bedroom wall for inspiration? Yet, while oversized dominated, it wasn't just about hiding in your clothes. There was a strange kind of defiant confidence in wearing something roomy. It was about comfort, yes, but also about taking up space in a world eager to tell young people to shrink or blend in. The message was clear: pick what feels right, not just what the trends dictate. But that's not all. Did you know that some schools and parents initially fought the oversized movement, claiming baggy jeans were sloppy or even rebellious, a potential sign of trouble? Kids started getting sent home for sagging jeans and gigantic T-shirts that hid belts or pockets. The debate between personal style and proper dress code raged across PTA meetings and school hallways. Strangely, the more adults resisted, the more irresistible. Oversized outfits became to a generation eager to make its own mark. There are even stories of small regional clothing stores suddenly thriving by carrying surplus or unisex items after seeing shoppers flock to the wrong side of the aisle. Teens would buy men's XL sweaters or search for the biggest jacket, regardless of gender or family approval. One store owner from Chicago remembered a group of 8th graders buying every XXL plaid shirt in sight as soon as school let out on Fridays, hoping to make their mark at the roller rink that night. So, as we set out on this journey through 90s oversized fashion, take a moment and remember the first time you chose something 2 sizes larger just because it felt right. Was it in the dressing room at Sears or while rummaging through a family donation box in the garage? What did it feel like? Empowering, comforting, quietly rebellious? Whatever your answer, it's clear the seeds of oversized style were planted in a particular mix of music, culture, thriftiness, and pure American ingenuity. But the story isn't finished yet, because next we'll see how technology and changing fashion industry tactics fanned those seeds into a trend that swept the whole country. Are you curious how those oversized pieces went from street style to the racks of your favorite mall store? The answer might surprise you. As we draw this look back at oversized outfits of the 90s to a close, it's clear that what we wore was never just about fabric or fleeting trends. It was about expressing who we were in a world that was rapidly changing. Those shapeless sweatshirts, the billowing denim, the impossibly roomy jackets, they all represented far more than just a casual dress code. They gave us permission to break away from the crisp formality that came before, to choose comfort, and to embrace a new kind of cool that was all our own. Whether you turned up your nose at stuffy, grown-up clothes or found yourself lost in your favorite windbreaker, these garments threaded themselves deeply into our daily memories. We've walked through the origins of oversized style, remembering its roots in music, skate, and street culture. We recalled how MTV flowed through living rooms and how the mall racks slowly filled with clothes that encouraged us to claim extra space for ourselves. You might have pictured yourself pulling an enormous flannel off the store hanger, or maybe stepping into a pair of jeans that practically swallowed your sneakers. These pieces weren't just practical. They had attitude. Each extra inch was a tiny rebellion against convention, a vote in favor of blending comfort with personal expression. The true magic of oversized outfits lay in their power to gather us together. There's something powerful about a trend so widespread that it united neighborhoods, crossed musical boundaries, and brought friends closer, sometimes, quite literally, as we swapped jackets on chilly nights or traded baggy sweatshirts at weekend sleepovers. And when schools pushed back or parents raised their eyebrows, it only made the thrill of slipping on another oversized tee that much sweeter. Even years later, the smell of fresh laundry on a well-worn hoodie or the sound of a zipper on a roomy windbreaker can transport us right back to those afternoons at the roller rink or evenings watching TV in the family den. So, as we think back on the clothes that defined a decade, we realize that oversized was more than a fashion, it was a feeling. It was the comfort of disappearing into your favorite sweater on a tough day, the confidence in showing up to school with sleeves trailing past your fingertips, and the shared laughter with friends as you compared just whose jeans were the baggiest. Trends come and go, but the sense of freedom, belonging, and self-assurance that those clothes gave us is timeless. What stories do your own oversized outfits of the 90s hold? Was there a particular piece you wore until it was threadbare, or a hand-me-down you made uniquely your own? We'd love to hear your memories, share your favorite oversized fashion moment, or the story behind your go-to baggy outfit in the comments below. If this trip down memory lane brought a smile, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more journeys into the iconic corners of our shared past. Maybe pass this along to a friend or sibling who rocked those giant sweatshirts right alongside you. Remember, just like the best oversized clothes, these memories are always there to wrap us in warmth and bring us back to a simpler time when bigger really was better and style was about feeling good from the inside out.